Big companies are changing the way they go about purchasing. It's not just a change, it's not an evolution, it's a revolution. It's a totally different way of doing business. In the old days, remember, big companies used to manufacture everything themselves, but we subcontracted out more and more, and now the expertise is with the suppliers. And so if you want innovation and you want to have innovative products on the market, you've got to be building a different type of relationship with the people who are the specialists, and the suppliers have become the specialists. So if you look at what the buyers used to be looking for was bringing in materials and components and raw materials and so on, and just negotiating on price, and it was let's get it in for the cheapest price possible. Now it's more about innovation capture and speed to market. How can I build a different type of relationship with strategic suppliers and capture that innovation before our competitor captures the innovation? And so after years of seeing suppliers try to become the preferred supplier of certain big multinationals, in certain cases the big multinationals have got to try to become the preferred customer. Because if there's somebody just outside Birmingham who's got an idea, how can I be sure he's going to be knocking on my door before taking it to my direct competitor? And so it's a total change in the way we go about doing our business. Yeah, this doesn't necessarily mean it's the end for the Rottweiler style buyer or the cost killer, as you know, but certainly it's a species that's going to disappear, unfortunately for certain people, slowly. But the Rottweiler style buyer, who's the guy who's got the baseball bat and hitting the supplier to get price out, maybe he could still be used for commodities or for energy. You know, if you can get your electricity for 95 instead of 100, okay, you're happy to have it. But when it comes to strategic purchasing, in other words, you're looking about getting the packaging or whatever for your shampoo or for your yogurt, that is strategic. And where the emphasis is now is no longer on price, because if you look at the big multinationals, their competitor are the private labels. They can't beat them on price. So their differentiation has to be elsewhere. And the differentiation today is innovation and the environment. And so if you are one of the Unilevers, the L'Oreals, the Danones or whatever, these companies have got to, their attractivity, as it were, and how do you bring customers to your products is through innovation and more the environment. The impact on PPMA member companies or on strategic suppliers, innovative suppliers, is that they've got to have something to present, because the people there now they have opposite them is no longer a guy who's just coming in for price. That's what we've just said. But it's going to be a higher level person who knows what the company's developing, who's talking more and more about the business. But what does that mean for suppliers? It's not just about giving technical specifications. I'm quite often critical of key account managers who are going into intrusion levels and specifications. I think suppliers have got to be talking more about the end user. How are we going to attract that end user? What are we going to be offering him? What kind of value? I think the suppliers have also got to think of, if we are involved in a brainstorm session with our key suppliers, what have we really got to offer them, and make sure we've got some meat on the bone, whether it be from a speed and flexibility point of view, from an innovation capture point of view, or even from a cost reduction point of view, how we could optimize batch sizes and transport and all of that type of stuff. In other words, what we're looking at is we're going to be seeing more and more serious brainstorm sessions from the customer through to the supplier. So that means the suppliers have got to be ready for it. And I think this is a fantastic opportunity. You see, this change where you're going to be seeing buyers who are only 35 years old and no longer, as we said before, the cost killer. I think that you've got to say to yourself, this change is either going to be seen as a threat or an opportunity. Believe me, it's a mega opportunity if you are capable of putting something together and proposing it to your potential customers. That's where the emphasis is going to be, and more especially on innovation capture, speed to market, and more, thank goodness, the environment. And in packaging, of course, environment is big. We know there's far too much plastic. We've got to go to biodegradable and so on. The suppliers are the people who are the specialists, and it's all about how do we get those answers more quickly than our competition. It's a great place to be, you know, and I'm very, very happy to be here, because some of the SMEs that were here today, the small and medium-sized companies that are here today, they've got some fantastic potential, some fantastic stories have been told. So thank you for the invitation.